Exciting stuff going on. It's going to be an incredible week. What's up, Eddie? I see that Eddie is out and about, getting his workout in. I like that. See Doug right there is out and about. Okay, let's go ahead and get started, guys. Appreciate everybody being on here. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. I'm going to start off with something basic, and then we're going to get into in detail. But this training, by the way, if I were you, I would get other people on this training. Any people from your team that have not that are not on here, make sure that they get on here. Okay. All right, here we go. Okay, that's weird. Save. Okay, good. All right, guys, let's go ahead and get started. So I want to take the first 5 minutes, 5 to 10 minutes, to talk about what to do when we get started, give you guys some pointers on what to do. I actually got a sale last week. I'm very excited about that. And it would have been 2 sales on the same day, but the second lady was in the middle of refinancing, and she's going to be done with the refinance in the next week or so. And so, but she told me, hey, listen, I'm ready to go. We took down her payment from about $110 to $69. And so, yeah, she was very excited. She already has solar at another property, and she's ready to go. And she was actually the referral of a friend of mine. And so, you know, that's one of the things that I want to share with you. Now, as time goes on, I'm getting a lot better at networking. I'm getting a lot better at getting the electric bills. I'm getting very, very good at this stuff. And part of the reason why, too, guys, is when you realize this, there's not a lot of competition out there in solar. Like, if you look at the solar industry, it seems like a lot of competition. But when you look at it compared to all the people that we know, there isn't a lot of competition in the solar industry. And if you just talk to people, you'll realize that that is indeed the case, right? Now, we could go out there and we could door knock. We could go out there and network through people, visiting real estate offices, working through our warm market. There's a lot of ways to get the business, okay, guys? So anyways, first and foremost, right, what you want to do is once you get started, I'm going to put my phone on silent here. Once we get started, guys, we want to make sure that when we get started, if you yourself own a home, you want to make sure that you upgrade to solar. You want to be a product of the product, right? So this is a to-do list, right? The next thing is create a fast start plan with your sponsor, okay, and support team. Reach out to me, right? If I am directly 1 or 2 levels above you, reach out to me, right? Also, you want to make sure that you add to your calendar every single Monday to be on the Powur training, right? Mondays here, 5 o'clock on Mondays, 5 o'clock Pacific time, we have the presentation overview, right? So anyways, create a game plan. And what I mean by creating that game plan is, how many hours do you want to dedicate to building your Powur business? How many people are you going to talk to? What days are you going to dedicate to this business, right? Maybe it's Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays after 5 o'clock. Maybe that's the only time that you've got. Mondays, Wednesdays, Fridays, okay? From what time? 5 o'clock to what? 5 o'clock to 8, 5 o'clock to 9? How many hours are you going to dedicate to that time, right? You want to be on purpose, because here's the deal, guys. Success in any business, right, requires a certain level of dedication, and you have to, you know, they say if you don't know where you're going, any road will take you there. So if you don't know if you just join, yeah, I'm going to start selling Powur and building with Powur, but you don't have a game plan as to what you're going to do, when you're going to do it, how much of it you're going to do, it's going to be very hard for you to be successful. In other words, you got to be intentional. You've got to be on purpose when it comes to these things. So as soon as you sign up, the first thing, you're going to get a notification of your LMS training. You want to go ahead and get that LMS training done as soon as possible. It's your first training in Powur. It'll take you about an hour and a half. You have to pass a test with like a 90%. I signed up. I immediately took the course. An hour and a half later, I got my LMS certificate. It's the very first training you're going to go through when it comes to the Powur energy opportunity. The next thing I recommend you do is, before actually number 4, I recommend that you go to powerzoom.com. Okay, and on powerzoom.com, by the way, make sure you're writing these notes. You want to make sure that you attend a few onboarding trainings that happen 5 days per week. If you go to powerzoom.com, you can find those trainings right there. Also, make a note of this website, blog.powur.com. blog.powur.com. In this particular website, you can see a bunch of pre-recorded trainings. Ladies and gentlemen, one of the things that I cannot emphasize enough on is you want to make sure that you treat this business like a serious business. Pretend like you're in the real estate business. There's obviously a lot that we have to learn. The cool thing about this business, the way that the system is designed, is that you don't have to be an expert in order to sell solar because of the split sale model that we have with our first 3 sales. And I'm going to get into that here shortly, right? So you want to make sure that, blog.powur.com, there's pre-recorded onboarding trainings there. I shared it on the Power Hitters group. If you're not on the Power Hitters group on Facebook, okay, and you're a part of our team, that's a training that we have for our team, make sure that you are on that Power Hitters group because we share a bunch of trainings there. We go live on there. We promote the next events. We answer questions there. It's definitely a great way to stay connected. Okay, and so as soon as you get that done, you want to make sure that you make your list of your top 10 homeowners. Okay, who do you know that's a homeowner? Who do you know? Who do you know? Who do you know? And by the way, don't make your minimums your maximums. I say top 10, but that doesn't mean only 10. Notice I didn't say make your list of 10 homeowners. I said make your list of top 10, right? So whoever your top 10 are, but then add additional names to it. Who do you know that's a homeowner? And we're gonna show you how to approach them. The next one is make a list of your top 10 partners list. Who do you want to invite to check out the Power opportunity? Now, keep this in mind. This is not a network marketing company. We're not necessarily looking for everybody because this is a very serious career. Ladies and gentlemen, with Power, just solar in general, but especially with Power, we have an opportunity where you could earn $100,000 a year, $250,000 a year, even $1 million per year in commissions off of your own pin. Off of your own pin, you could go out there with your own pin. And this is what I'm saying by your own pin, it means off of your own efforts, where you could go out there and make that type of income just based on your efforts. Now, if you build a team, you can make a lot more money. But you don't need a very big team here, right? So the top 10 partners, who are some of the sales professionals that you know? Who are some of the real estate professionals that you know? Who are some home security specialists or any people that you know that already sell solar? Who are some people that you know that are looking for a different career path? Who do you know? Who do you know? Who do you know? Right? Now, you want to make sure that you got those 2 lists, and we're going to show you how to contact that list. Plan to attend the live or online Power events. Again, powercalendar.com. Commit to your first 3 proposals and commit to your first 3 Power partners. Okay? Make sure that you commit to, hey, how soon? Listen, here's the deal. Guys, write this down for your notes. This is very important for you to understand. It isn't about, I don't worry so much about getting a bunch of people to buy solar. Of course, that's what I want, but it gets further than that. Here's what I mean. The only thing we can control is our attitudes and our actions. That's it. Attitudes and actions. If my attitude is, I want to get 3 proposals out every week, I get the electric bill, I input it as a lead in the system, I assign a mentor. I schedule the date with the homeowner to present the proposal with my mentor. If I do enough of that, the sales are going to come in. I focus on the task at hand, on what I can control. What I can control is how many phone calls I make, right? Getting trained properly. So when I make these phone calls, I have the highest chance of getting that electric bill. Once I get that electric bill, I can control to put it in the system, assign a mentor, schedule a date. If you do that, enough presentations, the sales will come in, right? So I focus on the fundamentals. What is the fundamentals? Get proposals out, present these proposals, and what am I doing? I'm learning. Because one day, this month, if not this month, early next month, I'm already a mentor. I'm right there, real close to being a mentor. Okay? Guess what I'm doing? I'm learning. I'm seeing, guys, with less than 50 people here that are trained right, that are plugging into the system, people can make yearly income on a monthly basis. The key, what you want to do is you want to get good and get to mentor as soon as possible. That means that you got to knock out your first 3 split sales. That means that you got to do an additional 5 sales on your own to go to mentor. But is it worth it? What if it takes you 6 months? What if it takes you a year to get to mentor? Now you're making an average of $3,000 to $3,500 split sales, and you're doing 5 of them a week, or 5 of them a month, or 10 of them a month. Think of that. There are mentors here that are making 6 figures on a monthly basis from the comfort of their home, with their laptop, on Zoom, doing presentations. People are just asking them to do those mentor sales. I cannot wait for that to happen. But guess what? I've got to pay my dues. I've got to get good at the fundamentals, right? By the way, if you got your camera off and you could turn it on, please go ahead and turn it on. It's a lot better. And I appreciate all of you guys that do have it on. Doug, Hernan, Eddie, and Anthony. I appreciate you guys. So the point is, guys, that is very, very important to get good at the fundamentals. And I'm going to get into some of those fundamentals here shortly, right? So commit to your 3 proposals. Have a goal. By when will you have your 3 proposals done? By when will you have your 3 power partners done? For example, you want to get some power partners? Make sure you have a list. Call them and invite them to tonight's webinar at 5 o'clock Pacific time, 8 o'clock Eastern time. Get people on there. You know some people that sell solar, some real estate professionals, right? Just some people that are looking for a new career path. Some people that are sales professionals. Promote tonight's webinar. Get them on tonight's webinar. I asked them, hey, listen, I really respect your opinion, Anthony. I just started working with this company. I know you're very sharp. Would you mind giving me, your opinion on it? Just take a look at it. Give me your opinion on it. See if you can poke holes into this business, right? I keep it simple, right? If it's a real estate agent, hey, Anthony, let me ask you something, brother. Have you ever considered, offering solar to your customers? Why not? Just get it out there. Because here's the deal. Even if he says, no, I'm super busy with what I'm doing. If you're going to be in the business 6 months from now, a year from now, eventually, more than likely, he's going to ask you, hey, what's up with that solar? How's that solar going? So if you don't get them now, you'll get them later. But you have to have long-term perspective. Here's what I tell people. Listen, brother, this is what I'm going to be doing for the next 10 to 15 years. I believe that we're entering the solar boom for the next 10 to 15 years. This is what I'm going to be doing. This is where I'm planting my flag. Okay? If you know of anybody that may have some questions about solar or may be interested in going solar, I would appreciate if you keep me in mind. Does that make sense? But now when I tell people I'm going to be doing this for the next 10, 15 years, they know that I'm serious about the business. They know that I mean business. Okay? So you want to make sure that, you have that posture. And how do you get that posture? When you plug into the corporate calls, when you plug into the trainings, when you're doing the business, your posture goes up because you realize, ladies and gentlemen, we have the deal. I've been involved in network marketing half of my life, okay? More than half of my life. And I've never seen, even though this is not network marketing, it's direct sales, but it's similar. I've never seen a company where with less than 100 people, you can make 50 grand a month, even 100 grand a month. Never seen it in my life. Does not exist. Guess what? That exists here. Not only is that possible here, but that's happening here right now. I'm not going to throw these people's names out there who are doing that, but people that all of us know that work with us, that do mentor deals for us, make over 100 grand a month. And some of them have teams that are smaller than 100 people. It's crazy when you say, and I'm going to get into that here shortly, guys. So, okay, here's a fast start training. Number 1, identify your why. Why you're doing the business. Your family. What do you want to do for your family? You want to buy them a new house? How much is that house? What city is that house? You want to be specific. Write down your goals. You want to have short-term and long-term whys. Really write them down. Here's the deal. Most people suffer from what's called temporary motivation. They're temporarily motivated. That's what a beta entrepreneur does. There's a beta and there's an alpha. You want to be the alpha. The beta entrepreneur says, I'm going to go and crush it. JC, let's go. Eddie, Doug, let's go. This time, watch my smoke. I'm going to make it happen. I'm tired. I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired. Sounds good. A week or two or a month down the line, they're not plugging into the trainings anymore. They're not plugging into the calls. They started strong. Maybe they got a couple no's. Maybe they couldn't get some electric bills. Maybe some people told them, solar's no good. Whatever the case is, then they lose that motivation. Part of the reason why they lose that motivation is, number one, they're not plugged in. Number two, they don't have a why that's strong enough, because you're going to get rejection. You're going to get people that lie to you. You're going to get people that tell you, I'm going to send you a bill. I'm going to send you my bill. I'm going to email it to you. And they don't do it. Then you call them back and they're not going to answer. Question is, what are you going to do when that happens? Are you going to wither away and die on your dreams? Or are you going to say, hey, man, this is a part of the business? Here's the bottom line. That I just described has happened to the guys that are making 50 to 100 grand a month in this business, a lot more than has happened to you and I. So get good at it. You got to develop that thick skin. Sometimes you're going to have a project that closes, big commission, great. Sometimes you're going to have a project that's going to close, and for some reason, the owner's back out. And it sucks. That's a part of the business too. Here's the deal. In this business and in any business, you have to understand the following. Here's what it is. We get paid based on the size of the problems that we solve. If I work at a grocery store and I'm the bagger, even though there isn't that many of those these days, but if I work at a grocery store and I'm the bagger and you come with your groceries, and my job is to bag your groceries, here's what my job is. I put the cans in the bottom of the bag and the bread on the top of the bag. Why? Obviously, we don't want to smash the bread, right? What did I do? I solved a small problem. How much money would I make as a bagger? Small money, right? We get paid based on the size of the problems that we solve. Same thing with this business. I got a couple clients right now. I got one client that says, I want solar, and I'm convinced I want solar, but my house doesn't have AC. If you could get me a way to where I could get solar and an AC unit at the same time, even though I know my payment is going to go up, it doesn't matter. But I don't want to pay for the AC all up front. And my wife has a 700 FICO score, will qualify. Great. Guess what? I'm over here. Then I find out that AC could be added into the job as an adder. So I already got the AC guy, right? It took me a day to get them to communicate, to coordinate their days, right? So then they talk. We all talk on a three-way call. Now the AC guy is going to his house on Thursday or Friday of this week. I wish it was sooner, but the AC guy is busy. The homeowner said, that's fine. I'm not working right now. So I'm working from home. So that's fine. So the point is, that's a little problem I had to solve. Some people would say, oh man, how come this deal's not easy? But guess what? When it comes down to it, it's going to be a $4,000 to $6,000 commission. It's all good, maybe more. But the point is, a champion, write this down, a champion understands and accepts and looks forward to solving problems. Bring them on. I get paid based on the size of the problems that I solve, because I'm a champ, because I'm a winner, because I'm an alpha entrepreneur. Does that make sense? A beta entrepreneur says, oh man, I got to get an AC guy. Then I got another lady who says, I want solar, but I need a new roof. Could you give me a quote with both the solar and the roof? We can. Let's see if you qualify. And I let her know, you might qualify for the whole thing, depending on the size of the cost of the roof. Or it may be that you only qualify for a certain amount of the roof finance, and the rest of it you have to pay for it. And I'm learning all of this as I go. I'm not a solar expert yet, but that's why I got the mentors that are helping me with it, right? Long story short, today I have her talking to the roofer. He already emailed her a quote that she liked. She's a lady that's in the middle of refinancing, which that's going to be done very soon. So she already told me, I love this program. I love the price you're giving me, right? And because we gave her a price based on no roof, just comparing apples to apples with her electric bill currently versus what it could be with solar. She went from like 110 to $69. She's stoked. So obviously she knows that her monthly payment is going to be higher when we include the roof job into it. She's perfectly cool because at the end of the day, she knows what the price of roof is. So she could either pay for it up front or finance it, right? The point is we get paid based on the size of the problems that we solve. The reason why I don't have a problem with these situations, by the way, if you are a winner, do not call problems problems. They're situations. If somebody's life is at risk, right, that's a problem. But if money or people can solve it, it's a situation. This is a world champion mindset, okay? If money or people can fix it, it's a situation. If it's life-threatening, that's a problem. But if you tell me, man, I got a problem, this lady's in the middle of refinancing, that's not a problem, that's a situation. Overcome it. We're going to build the strongest sales organization in this company. We're going to have the biggest team, the fastest growing team, that is the best trained team. And it starts with the mindset. So identify your why. The next one is identify, just like you write down your whys, identify what you are willing to give up in order to achieve those things that you want. What are you willing to give up? Something's got to give. That's the bottom line. Something's got to give. So what is it that's going to give? Maybe you got a softball team, even though right now during quarantine, that's not the case. Maybe you play poker with your friends. Maybe whatever the case is. In order for you to go to that next level, chances are we've got to give something up. So you want to be specific and write down what you're willing to give up. Okay. The next one is make a list of all the people that you know. Names and numbers of all these people. Here's the thing. Worst case scenario. Here's what I do. Make a list of everybody you know, homeowner or no homeowner, sharp person, salesperson or no salesperson, everybody. Some people you're going to call and invite them to the business. Some people you're going to call and invite them to offer them to do solar for them. The rest of the people, worst case scenario, here's what you do. Here's what you say. Let's say, for example, I give Anthony a call. Let's say Anthony is just a buddy of mine from high school. Let's say, like, Anthony is a tremendous salesperson, super sharp. But let's say Anthony was not. Let's say he's just a buddy from high school, never done sales, and let's say he's not a homeowner. I'm still calling him because I don't want to be a secret agent. I want everybody on my network to know JC is a solar specialist. Okay? JC is a solar specialist. By the way, I appreciate that compliment, Doug. These glasses are computer glasses to block out the blue light. Nowadays, we do so many Zooms that it takes a toll on you. So I ordered 2 pairs of glasses from Amazon to block out the blue light. Anyways, so I have perfect 20/20 vision, which I'm grateful for, but I want to keep it that way. So I want to make sure I protect my eyes. So here's the deal, guys. Let's say I give him a call. I do small talk. Anthony, how's it going? Blah, blah, blah. The family good? Yes. Awesome, man. I'm glad to hear it. Listen, bro, I'm not going to take a lot of your time. The reason why I'm calling you is because I just started in the solar industry and I'm incredibly excited about it. This is what I'm going to do for the next 10 years, bro, for the next 10 to 15 years. And I'm excited about it. Just want you to know that this is what I'm doing in case you ever run into somebody that has questions about solar or is ever interested in going solar. I hope that you would keep me in mind. See, now why should he keep me in mind? Because I just told him that I am committed to this industry. I told him this is what I'm going to do for the next 10 to 15 years. If this is your new career path, tell him that. I've chosen solar as my new career path. I'm super excited about this, about helping homeowners and educating homeowners, and I'm the guy. So if you ever know of anybody that, and notice how I make it very non-salesy. I say, if you ever know of anybody that has any questions about solar, just merely questions, I'd be happy to answer their questions. If you know of anybody that's interested in going solar, I'd be very grateful if you kept me in mind as a solar professional. All I do is I let them know, check this out. My appointment from last week that is in the middle of refinancing and needs a new roof and already told me, I'm done, I'm ready. Give me the roofer quote. and wait till my refinance is done and I'm getting solar with you. You guys, because she already has solar at another property. And she says, what you guys are offering me is way better than what I got on that last property. She's ready to go. Guess how she came? I called my buddy Pedro. And I told Pedro the exact same thing. Hey, Pedro, how's it going? Blah, blah, blah. Listen, you know, I'm going to be in this industry for the next 10 years, blah, blah, blah. Let me know if you ever have anybody that has any questions about solar or is thinking about going solar. I greatly appreciate it. He goes, oh, really? That's good, chap. Sounds good. I said, by the way, Pedro, before I let you go, we also have what's called an ambassador program. Basically, what it is a referral program. If you ever refer me somebody that's interested in solar, and let's say we help them out go solar, the company will send you, our company will send you a $1,000 check after installation just for the name and number, bro. He goes, oh, really? Well, you know what? I'm going to send you to my aunt. She's been thinking about solar. I'm going to get your contact. I'm going to get you her bill. And I showed him how to become an ambassador. He's a businessman. He doesn't want to sell solar. But when I told him $1,000, he said, hey, man, I caught his attention. But notice how I don't lead with that right away. I very casually let him know this is what I'm doing, blah, blah, blah. If you know of anybody that has any questions or is interested in going solar, I'd appreciate if you keep me in mind as a solar professional, right? Now, the credibility I'm bringing to it is I'm letting them know that I'm all in. It's what I'm going to be doing for the next 10, 15 years. This is what I'm doing. This is what I'm saying. You can make it your own. I've already got 2 leads because of that. It's a great excuse to, it's a very soft approach to people to simply let them know, hey, listen, damn, there's a big helicopter going. It's a very easy approach to give them a call. It's a great excuse to give people a call. And one of the things that I mention when I'm talking to people like this, I say, hey, listen, just like if I were to become a real estate agent, I'd be giving you a call to let you know that I'm now a real estate agent. The last thing I would want is my neighbor or my cousin to sell their house if I was a real estate agent, right? Yes. Okay, great. Wow, there's like a helicopter flying all over to you. Well, same thing with solar. The last thing I would want is somebody who's a neighbor of mine or a friend of mine or a cousin of mine, a family member of mine, to go solar, all because they didn't know that I'm in the solar business. That'd be very silly. So that is, when I tell you to make your list of 100 names and numbers, at the very minimum, they should get a call from you to let them know that you are now in the solar industry, that you are committed to this industry. And if you tell them with posture, here's the deal. If you don't tell them with posture, and you just say, yeah, hey, by the way, just want to let you know I'm doing solar on the side. Think about that. If you're a homeowner and somebody goes, hey, man, yeah, I got this little gig, I'm doing solar on the side, that doesn't have as much credibility as somebody says, hey, man, this is what I'm doing, right? It's okay if you tell them that you're doing it part-time, but it depends how you say it to them. Hey, man, I just want to let you know I got into the solar industry, and I'm very excited about it. It's what I'm going to do for the next 10 years. Right, I'm doing it part-time right now. As you know, I got my full-time job, and just like a real estate career, most people start it part-time. I'm doing the same thing, but I'm excited about it. If you know of anybody that may have any questions regarding solar, I'd love to answer them. Or if you know, even better, anybody that wants to go solar, I'd appreciate if you keep me in mind, and we can give them a free quote. By the way, tell them about the Ambassador $1,000 referral program. Okay, guys? Okay, let's keep moving. Okay. So there's 2 types of people. There's homeowners, make a list of minimum 10, and then there's power partners. We talked about that as well. Here's a memory jogger, okay? Put everybody on your list. Who are your aunts? Who's your best friend, your best man, your bridesmaid? Who's your barber? Who's your banker? Who's your babysitter? You know, who do you know that's a painter? Who do you know that does payroll? The point is, and you could download a memory jogger. Make a list of as many people as you know. Go on your social media. Call everybody and let them know. If you just do this with 100 people, chances are out of 100 people, somebody's going to know somebody that is thinking or talked about going solar. Does that make sense? Or one of them may be thinking of going solar. Or maybe their neighbor, a friend, is thinking about going solar. Just doing that with 100 names and numbers, I guarantee you it'll lead to something if you do it with the right posture, okay? Okay, so we already did that, good. All right, so now what I wanna do now is I wanna share, I wanna do that briefly, Here's what I want to do. I want to share with you guys, and let me know if you can you guys still see my screen? Give me a thumbs up if you can. Yep. Okay, great. The Powur, be your own dealer. Is that what you guys see? Great. All right. So here's the deal, guys. I'm gonna finish it off with this. I'm gonna try to keep it lean this time. I'm gonna try to finish in the next 10 minutes. Okay. So here's the difference between what we've got here. Okay. I'm not gonna get into these slides here. We're gonna go ahead. You guys have already seen that. You've seen that in the presentation. Okay. Look at the last two of this. This is what we see in the presentation all the time. But look at the old, this is the difference between Powur. This is what I call the Powur difference. In the industry of solar sales, there's the old model, which is the dealer program. The dealer program is this here where it says old. The Powur program is on the right where it says new. Notice the last one. The last one for the dealer program, the old model, is you are creating and training your competition. Notice on our side, it says everyone has the same opportunity. I'm going to get into that. I'm going to show you how the average dealer program out there, this is the place to be. I believe that the average dealer out there is training our future team on how to sell solar because they have a flawed model. And I'm going to get into that here. So we know about the compensation plan. I'm going to skip through that. So check this out. Here's a traditional model in solar, okay? The top guy gets a big split commission. Let's say you got the company, right? And then you got the top guy. He's got a big commission. Now what he does, that's him right here. He gets paid the biggest commission. So what he does is he brings people, he recruits people and pays them a smaller commission. In turn, they recruit people and pay them smaller commissions, okay? And so on and so forth. So the bottom guys, 2-3 levels deep, they have zero leverage. They have no leverage. Their commissions are too small in order to recruit a team to pay them. What are they gonna pay them? $500 a sale, right? We don't have that problem here. Everybody makes the same thing here. So guess what this does here? What this does is that you are now, that traditional dealer is training their future competition. Because see, the sales reps will eventually, the sales reps that are deep in the organization are making such small commissions. Once they get a couple sales under their belt, once they get some experience, what are they gonna do? They're gonna leave to another dealer and they're gonna say, hey man, I'm gonna get the deal that Johnny has. I'm gonna go to another dealer, talk directly to the owner, have him pay me a big split so I could do what Johnny is doing at my dealer, and so I can pay my guys less money. And eventually you're just training your competition. You never create real leverage income. Eventually those reps will find us. They'll find the power energy difference and they're gonna come on board. And why not be a part of our sales organization? Here's why. Here's the benefits. Everyone makes the biggest commissions. Once our model is simple. You subtract the cost of goods, whatever the cost of goods is. And then after that, whatever's left over, the company does a 70-30 split with you. You keep 70%, the lion's share, and the company keeps 30%. Now, companies, out of the company's 30%, half of that is paid 50-50 through 6 levels of compensation plan. So we are able to build real leverage, 6 levels deep of sales reps that we get paid, right, on their sales. So here's the way it works. What this does is it creates the opportunity to make 100,000 yearly income all the way up to $1 million or more without having to sell yourself. I love solar, guys, but that doesn't mean that I want to sell solar all of my life. I don't want to be a sales rep all my life. I want to sell solar for the next 2 or 3 years personally. But after 2 or 3 years, I want to be able after 2 or 3 years to go out there and say, hey, I'm not selling solar anymore. I'm making so much money on a monthly basis because I build a team and they don't have a reason to leave. It isn't like the guy above them is making more money than them. They're not making less money because the guy above them is making more money. Does that make sense? That's the power difference. I normally don't open it up for questions, but I'll open it up. Raul, did you have a question?
Yeah, JC, quick question. When you say we can go 6 levels deep, that's personal recruits, 6 levels. What about to the side? How many can we go?
Okay,
How many
yes,
people can
great
recruit?
question. So 6 levels deep means you could recruit as many people as you want front line. Everybody you personally recruit goes front line, front line, front line, front line, your first level. Everybody you personally recruit becomes your first level. Whoever they recruit is your second level. And whoever they recruit is your third, and so on and so forth. That's what I mean by 6 levels deep. Now, you do have to qualify for all 6 levels. You don't qualify for all 6 levels out the gate. Everybody qualifies for the first level out the gate. But you need, I think it's 5 directs, 5 recruits in order to get the second, another 5 to get the third, and so on and so forth. We won't get into that here. But the point is, everybody you recruit yourself goes on your level number 1. Okay? All right, guys, let's get back to the training. So this creates a real opportunity that doesn't exist out there. It does not exist. In the tradition, and here's the deal. The dealer program is the same in solar as it is in the ADT business. My wife and I, we have a home security business, ADT. We're able to sell in Texas. We're able to sell in a bunch of different states, right? Well, here's the deal, okay? The same thing happens there. We bring a guy on board, pay him a big commission. That guy pays this guy's less, and less. The teams don't last. In our model, everybody gets paid the same 70-30 split. And then out of the company's 30%, half of that they used to pay the multiple levels deep, the 6 levels deep, right? So nobody feels like left out. Nobody feels like they're getting the short end of the stick because there's a couple people above them, right? So here's an example. There's a basic example of how the comp plan works. Let's say the cost of a job is $35,000. Let's say the cost of goods for that job is $22,500. That leaves $12,500 that are commissionable. Okay, 70% of the $12,500 equals $8,750. That would be your commission. So the cost of goods is the solar panels, the adders, all of the expenses. You see that it's a transparent cost of goods model. In a traditional dealer, they don't show you the cost of goods. So very often they make money off the cost of goods. Let's say the cost of goods is this much. They say it's this much. So now you don't know because it's not a transparent cost of goods model. With us, you see what the expenses are. Whatever's left over, okay, here's what's left over. Great, I know I'm getting 70% of that. Simple. And everybody has the exact same comp plan. That's why, see, knowing this information is important. That way when you talk to people, you know you got the deal. You know you've got the absolute best program in the industry. And guess what? How many companies in the solar industry are doing what we're doing? The answer is 0. See, when you look at a similar industry, which is network marketing, there's a ton of companies selling weight loss programs. There's a ton of companies selling CBD. There's a ton of companies selling whatever. So there's a lot of options. If you want a solar career where you could eventually build a team and eventually walk away from making sales and make override income and just live the life, override income, there's one place to do that. That's here. Now, if you want to go out there and door knock and you don't want to build a team and you just want to sell, this is a place to do it too, because you make more commissions here, higher commissions here than you would anywhere else. So no matter how you look at it, in my opinion, all roads lead to Powur. Okay, guys? Then again, out of the company's 30% split in this scenario, which is $3,750, half of that is paid to the field in the 6 levels of commissions. Okay? So taking that same example, let's say out of Powur's $3,750, in that example, Powur kept $3,750. Right? The first level makes 20% of that. So let's say you brought Johnny in and Johnny closed this sale here. So Johnny made $8,750. Okay. Let's say you were the mentor on that deal. So $8,750 was split between you and Johnny. You got half of that, he got half of that. Because remember, everybody's first 3 sales have to be split mentor sales. Okay, guys? After your third, on your fourth and on, you keep them all. Unless you are a solar professional with 1 year experience documented, you only have to do one split sale. On your second and beyond, you keep the 70% all to yourself. Okay? So, but let's say, for example, Johnny, you split that sale with Johnny. You each made about what, $4,375, something like that. In addition to that, out of Powur's 3,700, 20% of the 3,750 goes to you, which equals $750. This is what's called the unilevel pay. The guy above you got 10% of it, which is $375. The guy above him got 5%. The guy above him got 5 and 5 and 5, which is $187. Not too shabby. Not too shabby at all. So this is exciting, guys. This is very, very exciting because guess what? I mean, come on. You know what I mean? The amount of money that's going to, I already know I got a bunch of commissions coming like this. There's a bunch of sales that have already been done just on the unilevel pay. And I'm not even a mentor yet. Once I become the mentor, the income's going to go up tenfold. Okay. So here's the override potential. Okay. So let's say, for example, this is the average overrides on the first level, 550. Across the board, the average first level override is 550. The average override on the second level is 275, and then 162, 162. So let's say, for example, you've got 3 guys that are each making 1 sale on your first level. You got 9, and then let's say those 3 brought 3 in, which is 9, and 27 and 81. In this example, everybody's making 1 sale per month. Okay, you brought 3, who brought 3, and that duplicated to the 4th level. 3 who brought 3, who brought 3, who brought 3. Okay, everybody's making 1 sale. With the average unilevel commissions, just 4 levels deep, we're not even going all 6. Okay, your commissions for that month would be 45,000 on the 4th level, 4,300 on the second, on the third, 2,400 on the second, and 1,600 on the third. You're talking about over $52,000 in that scenario. The question is, what if it took you a year? What if it took you 2 years, even 3 years just to get to this point? We're talking about 81 people that did 1 sale. 1 sale in a month. They're not knocking it out the park. What if it took us 2 or 3 years to get there? Would it be worth it? I'll tell you this much, guys. There's people that are doing that right now within a year. The question is, are you going to take this business seriously? Are you going to treat it like a business, or are you going to just do it here and there part-time? Because I'll tell you what, write this down for your notes. In this business and in any other industry, time will either promote you or expose you. Time is either going to promote you or expose you. There are some people that are in the business right now. Okay? Right now. Then there's a guy or girl that's going to come into the business 6 months from now in the future. And in a year, the guy or girl that came in 6 months from now is going to smoke the other guy that's already in right now. Because the person that comes in the future is going to see the potential. And they're going to say, I'm going to become an expert in this. I'm going to study. I'm going to take it seriously. I'm going to go through the nose. I'm going to go through what I have to go through. But I'll tell you what, man, anybody that's on this call, even the people that are not on the call, in 1 year can have a life that is drastically different than what they have right now. And I plan on being one of those guys without a shadow of a doubt. Okay. What if these guys made 3 sales in a month? You brought 3 guys who brought 3, who brought 3, and brought 3. What if they all made 3 sales in 1 month, which is absolutely doable? I'm going to make 3 sales in a month. Okay. Well, now you're talking about over $150,000 just in unilevel pay. This does not include mentor sales, which there's more money in mentor sales. Let's look at the mentor sales, okay? The mentor program. Everyone needs to do 3 mentor sales, 50-50 split sale on their first 3 sales. Once you've completed 5 sales on your own, you take a little test and you become a mentor. Okay. Solar pros only need to do 1 mentor sale, split sale, right? But they still have to do their 5 on their own to become a mentor, right? So let's say the average commission is 7,000, which it is. That means that the consultant portion is 3,500 and the mentor portion is 3,500. So what does this mean? Let's say you went out there through your war market, through prospecting, through ads online. You recruited 7 people. And let's say you're a mentor now. Let's say these 7 people, the average commission is 7,000. So the average split sales 3,500. And let's say these 7 members, they did their 3 split sales with you this month. They all went out there and crushed it. They got their 3 sales this month. Well, 7 times 3 equals 21 sales. That would mean if all 7 made their first 3 sales, that's 21 sales for the month. 21 sales multiplied by an average of $3,500 split sale for you. That would mean that this team of 7 people made you $73,500 in commissions for your mentor sales. And how many of those sales came from your prospecting efforts? 0. These came from the people you built. That, ladies and gentlemen, is powerful. Now, keep in mind, while those guys are making the first 3 split sales, they're bringing some people on board too. Well, they're not mentors yet. So let's say all of them brought in 1 person, just 1. And that guy's got a couple split sales. You're doing the mentor sales for them. All of a sudden, you got a $100,000 opportunity with 14 people. Just in mentor sales, not including the unilevel pay, which is this. What I'm saying, guys, is that the potential is tremendous. So let's say this example. Again, you recruited 7 guys who did their first 3 split sales with you, okay? You would still, on those 21 sales, still make an extra $500. Remember, you made 73,000. But now you got 21 sales that paid you an average of $550. That's another $10,000 just in unilevel pay. That's $1 million a year income. Okay. So this is an example. You see the cost of goods. You see everything. You see what all the expenses are minus the 70%. That's your commission, right? So guys, this is exciting. We are the Uber of the solar industry, right? This is the deal. So what I want to do now, I'm going to stop the recording. I'm going to open it up for any questions, and then we're going to be done. Let me see. Let me stop sharing. Good. And then let me